Okay, so we need to talk about Horrid Henry, and I don't mean the fun kind of talk where we reminisce about childhood cartoons. I mean the "this kept me up at night as an adult" kind of talk. See, Horrid Henry is a show about a kid who gets emotionally destroyed by his parents in literally every episode. Like, that's the premise. Child gets psychologically tormented for 11 minutes, roll credits, see you next week. But there's one episode that goes so far beyond the usual childhood trauma that people on Reddit, the website where emotions go to die, are openly weeping about it. This is the story of how a British cartoon about a bratty kid accidentally created the most devastating character study of learned helplessness I've ever seen. This is Hideo Video, the episode that completely broke Horrid Henry. So let's set the scene. Henry wants 200 quid. Why? Because his parents have literally never given him pocket money. And I don't mean like, oh, they missed a few weeks. I mean, since birth. These people looked at their newborn son and said, absolutely not. Earn it yourself, lazy. The kid couldn't even hold his own head yet. This is the family dynamic we're working with here. Henry sees this TV show called Laugh Till It Hurts, which is already a red flag of a title, and they're offering £200 for the funniest disaster video. And Henry thinks, perfect, I'll just film my family suffering. That'll be hilarious. Now, is this morally questionable? Absolutely. Is Henry treating his family like props in his exploitation scheme? 100%. But here's the thing, and this is important, this is the most effort Henry has ever put into anything. He's not just being chaotic for fun. He has a goal, he has a vision. He's a tiny, dysfunctional Scorsese with a borrowed camera and daddy issues. So Henry gets to work, and honestly, this is where you see genuine creativity from him. He's not just randomly causing chaos like usual. He's planning, he's directing, he's thinking about camera angles and timing. This is Henry as an artist, which is somehow both hilarious and kind of impressive. First, he sets up the bin prank. He positions the wheelie bin just right, so when his dad walks past, boom, rubbish everywhere. Classic physical comedy. And Henry's there with the camera getting the perfect shot. Then there's the cat situation, which is absolutely unhinged. Henry somehow orchestrates a scenario where Fluffy the cat goes absolutely flying through the air like a furry missile. Is it morally questionable to launch your family pet? Yes. Is it the kind of slapstick gold that would absolutely win a funniest disaster competition? Also yes. But the pièce de resistance is the car boot incident. Henry sets it up so his dad goes to the boot of the car and wham, it comes down right on his head. It's like a Looney Tunes sketch come to life, and Henry captures all of it. The timing, the reactions, the chaos. It's all there. This isn't some kid randomly pressing a record. This is a comedy. Henry has essentially created a short film where his family are unwitting stuntmen. And honestly, if we remove the ethical concerns for a second, it's genuinely clever. And he gets the shot. He has his winning footage. This is it. Henry has finally succeeded through actual effort and creativity. He put in the work, he executed his vision, and he has tangible proof of his success on that camera. For once in his miserable life, Henry has done something impressive. He should be proud. This should be his moment. And that's when Moody Margaret enters the story. Okay, we need to talk about Margaret. In a normal kids show, Margaret would be the rival, the annoying neighbor, the occasional antagonist. But in this episode, Margaret is a domestic terrorist. Margaret doesn't just compete with Henry. She doesn't just want to win. She wants to destroy him. This girl sees Henry with a camera and immediately goes, I need to ruin this child's entire existence. So what does she do? She grabs his camera and deletes his footage. Just gone. All that effort, all that creativity was deleted in 3 seconds while making direct eye contact. But does she stop there? No, because Margaret operates on a level of petty that should be studied. Henry tries to film again. Margaret climbs a tree, risking her own life. By the way, just to sabotage his rope trap. She breaks into his house to set up counter traps. This girl is committing actual crimes. This is breaking and entering. This is destruction of property. This is harassment. Where are the parents? And here's what makes it so sad. Henry has no safe space. His house isn't safe. His garden isn't safe. Margaret has access to everything. She's like a horror movie villain, except the horror movie is about a kid trying to win 200 quid to compensate for his parents' emotional neglect. So Henry keeps trying, and he keeps failing, because every single thing he attempts, Margaret is there, like a malicious guardian demon, making sure he eats dirt. He falls out of trees. He gets covered in slime. He face plants into the ground. And Margaret, she's filming all of it. Now here's where it gets dark. Margaret takes all this footage of Henry's failures, his pain, his humiliation, his desperate attempts to succeed, and she submits it to Laugh Till It Hurts. She didn't just beat Henry, she weaponized his suffering for profit. She turned his lowest moments into her payday. That's not rivalry, that's sociopathic. And then it airs on national television. Henry's entire family sits down to watch the show, and they see Henry, their son, their brother, getting hurt over and over again on national TV. And you know what they do? They laugh. His mum laughs, his dad laughs. Perfect Peter, the golden child who's never done anything wrong, he's almost crying with laughter. And Henry just sits there, watching his family enjoy his pain. This is the moment. This is when Henry breaks. Because the one thing worse than failing is having the people who are supposed to love you celebrate your failure. Think about that for a second. Your parents, who are meant to protect you, comfort you, and support you, they're watching you get humiliated on national television, and they think it's the funniest thing they've ever seen. That's not just neglect. That's active emotional abuse disguised as family entertainment. But wait, it gets worse. Margaret wins the £200, the money that Henry worked for, the money that was supposed to prove he could succeed. It goes to the person who tortured him. Henry's pain is now worth 200 quid, but not to him, to his bully. She literally profited off his suffering while he got nothing but humiliation. And you'd think that's the end, right? Like, how much worse can it get? Then the phone rings. A company saw Henry on TV. They want to pay him £250 to be in a pizza commercial. Finally, Henry gets something. He gets more money than the original prize. This is his redemption arc, except it's not. See, Henry doesn't get paid for being clever or talented. He gets paid to be a joke, to be the embarrassing, cheesy kid in a corporate advertisement. He has to sell the most humiliating version of himself to get the money. It's not a win, it's exploitation. The adult world looked at this traumatized child and said, hey, your pain is profitable. Want some cash? And his parents, they just send him alone to meet with complete strangers. No questions asked. Their 9-year-old son is going to meet an unknown company because of something he did on TV, and they're like, yeah, sure, see you at dinner. But we're not done. Because Margaret has one more card to play. She tells Henry that she's going to show the pizza commercial, his embarrassing corporate sellout moment, to everyone at school. So Henry can't even enjoy his 250 quid. The money's poisoned. Every pound is attached to the guarantee that he will be humiliated in front of his peers for the foreseeable future. He won, but he lost everything: his dignity, his privacy, his hope that things could ever get better. This is what psychologists call a Pyrrhic victory. You win, but the cost is so high that it destroys you. So why does this hurt so much? Because this episode is a masterclass in learned helplessness. Henry tries to make a funny video, sabotaged. He tries again, sabotaged. He tries to win fairly, but his enemy wins instead. He finally gets money, but only by selling his dignity. And even that comes with the promise of more humiliation at school. The episode literally teaches him that effort equals pain. And here's the kicker: Henry can't escape being Horrid Henry. That's his identity. Perfect Peter took good kid, so Henry had to become the bad kid just to exist. But bad kids don't get redemption arcs. They get laughed at on national television by their own families. This was Henry's one shot at proving he could succeed on his own terms, and the universe said, absolutely not, get back in your box. The original Horrid Henry books apparently weren't like this. In the books, Henry is cheeky, but his parents actually care. But the TV show cranked everything to 11 and accidentally created a psychological horror show about a child learning that hope is dangerous and effort is pointless. Look, I know it's just a kid's show, but Hadio Video is genuinely sad. It's about a neglected kid trying desperately to prove his worth, only to discover his only value to the world is as a punching bag. His family won't support him. His enemies will always win. Even his victories are hollow. If you grew up watching this and felt genuinely sad for Henry, you're not alone. Adults have reported being distressed by this episode because underneath the cartoon slapstick, this is a story about a child whose spirit gets completely broken. So yeah, maybe we should start a petition to get Henry some therapy, or at least a restraining order against Margaret. That girl genuinely needs to be on some kind of watch list.